bunch of stuff for the hobby shop. Um, Bought a bunch of stuff for this job that we're working on right now. So we're gonna get to flushing this motor. I've got a process that I'm gonna go through here. I'm going to clean the majority of the stuff out. I'm going to try to with this motor flush, which this motor flush is basically diesel and kerosene. And then I've got some Super Tech to run through there. And then once I get a lot of the sludge and stuff cleaned out, I'm going to actually run ATF through there, and I'm going to top it off with a quart of oil. And then I've got 5 new filters in between each one of the services that we're going to do. And we're going to, it's high detergent count, but we're going to use the Super Tech for in between off stuff. And then once it's all said and done and we're happy with how it all ends up, I'll end up running MMO through it for a while. I ended up getting some restore, some engine restore and lubricant to dump in there. We have to end up making a new gasket for it because Nissan just stuck everything back on there, and they never put the bolts back in the pan, and they never even tightened up the drain plug all the way, so I had to go out and get new bolts for it. So where we're at is I stopped by here earlier and I seen the mess that I made while I was gone and didn't realize the oil was actually leaking out of the pan. So I knew it would leak out some, but I didn't know it would leak out this bad. I didn't know they had all the bolts out of the pan other than 2. So I've got to go through and I've got to lay a bunch of pig mat down. But in the meantime, well, I'm going to have to get under there and start cleaning the bottom of this pan out. You could see how bad the pickup tube is. Let me see. The pickup tube was almost plugged solid. It was pretty much plugged solid. The MMO is what basically cleaned the majority of it out. So I'll have to clean this. You see all the sludge is just in this pan. It's terrible. So I guess what I'll do is I'll start with cleaning all this out before I even get underneath here and show you guys what's in this thing. I mean, Nissan said it wouldn't run for them, and they said all kinds of stuff, but I'm assuming they didn't even try to run this thing with... No, I don't. There's no hot tank here. This is just a shop that's only been open for about a year and a half, and JDM guys on one side and American guys on the other, or me on the other side. And basically we're just kind of putting it together as we go. They do a lot of welding and custom exhaust stuff over there, like titanium exhaust and things like that. Very, very specialty. You need to be very, very, very good at what you do kind of thing. So yeah, this is just a shop that everybody's trying to build up real slow. So I don't know if this stand will actually support my phone or not, but we'll see. Because if you guys are going to stay live while I do this, then we'll have to see if this thing opens wide enough. I don't think it does. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. It does. Alright, I can dig it. Now I'm going to get to cleaning this stuff out right here. So, I don't know if you guys want to be part of that or not. You can stick around for it, or you can wait till the end and come back later when I start getting into the motor. It's up to you, but I'm going to start spraying it out. Yep, they are when you're the shop owner, right? Or you call the shots, I should say. They're OSHA approved. Today's my off day. I wasn't gonna come do this, but then I thought to myself, you know what? Why not? Why not just go do it and give people have been asking about this project, and let's get it going. So no, the plan is for me to run basic flush stuff through here to start with, and then finish it. Once everything's running good and I get about 1,000 miles on a fresh oil change, then I'm gonna run BG through it and let BG do the finalize. I'm gonna let BG finish it off, if you know what I mean. Get a roll. Try to get some of this pig mat down here before it gets too far out of control. I thought Nissan had way more bolts in the pan than what they did. It just sucks that they failed like that. It's bad, you know. Who takes somebody's shit apart and then doesn't even put everything back together? I guess somebody that realizes they ain't gonna make no money off somebody. I'm not. It's just a. Get this pan cleaned out and get everything sucked back up there. Jump under there and get the filter changed real quick. I got 5 filters. Let's go out to the car real quick. I ended up ordering the good filters too. I didn't just get some crap filters. I ended up getting the good stuff. I ended up going and I ordered 5 Motorcraft filters that are the equivalent of the Nissan filter because of where the bypass valve is. I wanted to make sure the motor was protected the best. And Motorcraft, they're the only ones that have the bypass valve in the top like that. So I was like, it's kind of a no-brainer. I just want to see how far we can actually get with this motor. I told my buddy, I was like, look, man, I'm going to probably use about $250 to $350 worth of chemicals. Do you want me to go through with this? And he said, yeah, just do it. If you can get me in that with it somewhat restored for a couple of years before I need a motor, it's a hell of a lot better than having to Oh no, I didn't have a spill. Nissan didn't put the bolts back in the pan. Well, really, I need to specify a little bit better than that. It's not that Nissan didn't put the bolts back in the pan. Nissan literally put the bolts in the pan. They put the bolts in the pan and then took the pan and stuck it back up there and never took the bolts out of the pan. Nothing but sludge in the oil pan. We love this stuff. We don't need gloves for this. This is really going to trigger some people now. Oh yeah, baby. That feels good. I tell people all the time, they try to fight with me. Oh, BG snake oil, BG snake oil. And it's the boomers, man. It's the guys that have been around for a long time and they never really used BG and they're stuck on kerosene and diesel and stuff and they think that's the God's gift to engine flushes, and it's not. Kerosene and diesel doesn't work anywhere near the strength that BG does. It works, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same by any means. And a lot of these guys think that their way is their way or the highway, and that's not how it is. There's so many better ways to do things now. They're just closed-minded to it. And a lot of the young guys that think it's snake oil is because they get it from the older guys. But the technicians that have been in the field for a long time, they'll tell you, man. They'll just be straight up with you. If you want to clean something and you want it one shot, or the best results right up front, you use BG. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah, Berryman's is good, but you know, again, I just think of them as good medium duty cleaners. Thanks, Duncan. I appreciate that, man. That really means a lot. I don't have a tank either. You know, I'm just starting up with all this, and got people literally waiting on me. I got people that need, you know, town car timing chain jobs and everything, and it's like it's hard to get anywhere. Yeah, guys, I get it. I understand your concern, and you're gonna say what you got to say, but unfortunately, I got to do what I got to do right now. We'll work on the safety stuff here in a little bit. I just, you know, I'm out and about, and I'm trying to get my stuff done today. So if we can keep the safety stuff, because it ain't gonna change right now when we're on camera. So we're gonna roll with it the way it is. Keep that stuff to a minimum, if at all. I'd appreciate it. I'm a big boy. I get that you guys are concerned, but it's not something that I need to hear right now. Let's be here for the show and let's ride, baby. I'd say that's good enough to start running some flushes through it. Thank you for leaving a thumbs up. That means a lot. Appreciate it as always. I'm gonna go down underneath there. Just clean it out, got all the pickup tube and everything cleaned out so I can start running the cleaner through the motor. Got some, couple of old pig mat too, this time it won't leak anymore. I didn't know they took the bolts and put them inside the oil pan. I didn't know until I just looked and all the oil was in the pan, and all the bolts were in the fucking sludge.
Everybody just half-ass put it back together.
They just put two bolts in and threw all the other bolts inside the pan. I said, fuck it. That's not like Nissan to do stuff like that. I wouldn't think. All right, so I'm gonna climb up underneath there now. I had to just put a real light bead of silicone on that pan. If you guys get a little belly shot, deal with it. It's called Man Love Saturday, so you'll be all right. Get a little bit of that hangover. Maybe you'll see some of that from under the cheese with it. You'll be okay, I promise. It's good for you. Embrace it. Okay, I'm just cleaning up a few bolts before I get under there so I have clean bolts to put into the pan. You'll be okay, I promise. May as well take some pig mat down there with me. You know what I think I can do? I think I could flip it around like this. Go like this. And then y'all can see my face down here. Isn't that thing beautiful? Booty full. This engine is nasty. I'm gonna take a swipe out of it and show you what it looks like. That's what the inside of it looks like, right there. It is. I'm gonna have to flush this thing like 10 times. I'll probably never can clean that up. I'm gonna have to tell my buddy I made sure that his chassis was greased. I'm putting that lower plate on right here. And then the pickup tube. Let's see here.
got everything snugged up. Now I need to take this pan and get it started. I'm gonna reach back here and grab this pan now. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Ooh-wee. Maybe this could serve the purpose for that guy that jumped on the channel that was trying to be a troll, and he was like, you mechanics don't do your job, because if you did your job you would get every drop of oil out of the oil pan. Maybe I should screenshot or send him this video so he can say, all right buddy, I took your advice, I got every drop out of it. Hello world. Alright, everything down here is clean. Put the drain plug back in and then start putting some chemicals in her. See what happens. You get this oil filter off the front of it right here. Alright, so I'm gonna crawl out from underneath here now. I don't know if you guys, you can see the oil pan right here. I got it up there now. Everything's tight. Give it a few minutes to dry. While we're here, I guess we go ahead and pull this lower pan down and get this oil filter off of here. Just right here. It's this plastic pan. Wait a second. Wait a second. Well, put it the right way, dummy. I'm good. Oh, you brick. prick. Shit's so rusty, it's been down here for a while. That's the JDM guys out there firing their stuff up. Alright, now I need to drain it. I need to drag the oil pan underneath here. Man, they don't give you very much room to get oil into that filter in these Nissans, man. It's like where the American stuff is just wide open. The Nissans are just little holes around where the filter mounts. That's it. You don't get that big wide open spots. Has a Nissan filter on it, and it's still sludged up. Alright, I'm going to put a Ford filter on it. It's a better filter. All right. So we got a filter on it.
try to get a little organized here. So I'm gonna get this out of here. Start dumping chemicals in now. Let me pop this hood real quick. Let me lower it down. I'm gonna put you guys up here now.
Nope, it's not quite. Need a little bit more. To the right. Yep, one of them is. If you just turn right, like just a smidge, it would be right.
Rich, you got a hot minute?
Hang on.
I'll go wash up, man.
Take your time.
Or unless you got some gloves. I'm gonna help these guys over here push this car in real quick. So just give me 1 second. They're asking for my help. Gloves were there.
On top of the welding table? What? Gloves? What about, wasteful, wrong. Inside the ramp? Now, what? Are you on the ramp?
Yep,
How much?
complete.
Hey, he's all the way.
Yeah, completely on it. There's no either way. Wait, stop. Bit more to the left.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's on.
Okay.
He's got like an inch and a half.
Straighten out and we're good.
Okay, on to the chemicals now. We got the car pushed in. We're gonna push this in. They're working on that. The JDM guys over here. I'm also gonna dump this in the fuel because it has the original fuel that's been in there for like a year, year and a half. I'm just gonna dump the whole damn thing in there. We're gonna run the diesel kerosene through there first. It's an NV 3500 and it's got 35,000 miles on it. I'm gonna get it started up and then I'm gonna back out, guys, so it's not smoking up the shop. It'll smoke out there. I put some pigment. I bought a couple rolls while I was out so I could start cleaning it up now. Yeah.
I'll let you know once Well, okay, so let me get the, let me see how much my income is gonna be. I know kind of how much, but tax is fucking 30%. Let's figure that out. We'll figure this out. I don't mind. Let me know what you want me to do. Tell me the, I'll do this. What? Yeah, I got my left hand. It's in the car. I guess. Close it. Let me get one of those. I don't know.
This is the SuperTech 10W30. Or 5W30, I should say. No, I'm good. I'm good. I started back on that keto diet, so I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to like drop weight and everything. The doctor's talking about putting me on some kind of shot called Saxenda, where it makes you like forces you to start to lose weight. So she was like saying the diet and the shot together. She's been seeing people lose anywhere between like 70 and like 120 pounds in a year, just from eating cleaner and something to do with upregulate your hormones. Some newer shot, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the place I was telling you that has the buffalo chicken.
No, we need another quart to a half a quart. It's that STP high mileage oil treatment mixed with straight motor oil and diesel kerosene.
I know. Wait, so he doesn't get roasted for putting Chevy in his shit?
I have 2016 Mustang GT rims on a town car.
Hey, look, if they have a good Nismo on sale, I would buy it. But you can't find that shit anywhere.
Right.
That's not my fault.
As long as you put the badge in the actual car itself.
Yeah.
You can rent those on that, whatever.
Well, the only reason I did that is because there's so much of the Mustang GT in the town car. It was the same motor, the same trans, it was the same type of setup. It was just the exterior and the frame was the only thing that was different. So when I found,
That's fair enough, though.
yeah, but still, even today, I get shit for that. People on that all the time, and they're like, "Why don't you have somebody custom make Lincoln caps for you? Why are you putting those stupid Mustang caps on that?" Well, it's still Mustang rims. It doesn't change the fact that it came from a Mustang.
Nah, it's about the soul of the car.
Right.
It's not what's inside. Like,
Right.
outside, like, it looks great, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make it go any faster.
Right. Hey man, they say add 5 horsepower.
It's psychologically, man.
Right? Could buy a cap.
What? For this? We talking. Oh, we talking. What's that? I'm like, it's not like anything, I'm like, I don't know, man. We talking about this, I'm like, I'm fucking on like.
It still needs more. You have to dump some more in it. Man, this thing's taking a lot. Probably because all that thick molasses is still sitting up in the upper end.
Maybe once we get the transfer. Hey, his backside is right on me. So. Wait, let me see.
You're fucking away.
Wait, with who?
The way. Oh, no, these are nice ones. Even a nice guy. It's the way, dude, yeah. So he's like, yo, Sally wants 2 dudes, and he fucking next.
Wait.
Stares at me. Stares at me. Sound. I don't know.
I'm like, text.
Just some chick that.
But Sally could be a lot of things.
Where was this from? She's being so cute last night. Everyone's like, let's do a sleep stream and just put Freya on there. Like, maybe.
I love it.
A little bit more.
So now I'm doing a challenge.
What kind of cat?
The 200. So okay, it's a 200 sub goal, and I'll shave my head. 1,000 followers. And then 250 sub goal, I'll wear makeup.
What?
Shave my
Wait, makeup? I'm all about makeup.
Dude. I get to shave his head.
Oh, yeah, I kind of did drag though.
Then let me put the makeup on. I
Yeah,
want.
you can do the makeup.
I'll put
I
the
wanna
makeup
shave your
on.
head.
Wait, but what level of makeup are we talking
Are
about?
we talking about
Are we
drag
talking
queen?
about contour, or
No.
we're just gonna do
No. We're
patch,
talking
whatever?
drag queen makeup.
Oh,
Like
Oh,
yes.
We set it up. Okay.
full bore. Full bore.
Well, hold on a second though. Who's gonna pay for this makeup? Makeup ain't cheap.
My viewers.
We'll get the dollar store stuff. No.
Dollars though, you're not gonna get the right effect from the
My
dollar
viewers want my
stuff.
sister to do it. That's
What?
what I'm getting.
We can also help though.
Man, I'm all about Mac.
Wait, you guys want to do all this? Yeah,
Want that Mary Kay? You want some of that Mary Kay? Well, that's what he's about. The good stuff.
The good stuff, man, it makes a difference.
You
Okay?
gotta keep your
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah, 250 simple.
But I get to shave his head.
There we go.
Oh, that's 200.
I said black too.
Now we're starting the show. So one little small one, we're probably good.
Socket. Oh man.
I want cooler.
What?
Yeah, because believe it or not, the cooler is running out.
Yeah.
After 2 fucking weeks. A little bit concerned, but like grandma, but a little bit excited.
Yeah, dude, so I still. Somehow my car's still. So you're not dripping cold.
Just look like him, so it's only like this much from
Where are you from, man?
him. Me?
Yeah, where are you from? You have like an Asian slash UK slash something. You got like
Hey,
multiple.
that's exactly what I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I born in China. I moved to UK when I was about 7 years old. So
Yeah, I was picking up all that, and I was like, it's actually kind of cool. It's unique. You don't hear that.
I think it depends on who I'm with.
Right.
Like when I'm with my boys back home, then my UK side comes out more. But
Right.
here I'm trying to assimilate more, like Americanized. a little
Why? Do you,
bit.
boo?
Like I don't do it consciously.
Oh,
It's
you-
just
it's-
like yeah.
Oh yeah. So like when I'm hanging around with my Hispanic friends, all of a sudden the accent starts to come out because you're subconsciously doing it, you don't even realize it.
Yeah, you use a different vocabulary, you know.
Right,
like,
right.
When I'm talking to my guys, I'm gonna say flip flop. So when I'm talking to my wife, I'm gonna say chanclas. Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
No way. Yeah, but chanclas has a double meaning.
So how long have you been here?
Wait, how long? 5 years. Five and 50 years.
Is it better here or better in the UK?
Well, it depends. Car-wise, here, absolutely. Yes. You know how strict the rules are?
Everybody tells me that all the time online. When I'm talking about cars, I'm live streaming right now. And everybody tells me that online all the time about how strict things are overseas with the car rules and stuff like
Well,
that,
you-
and modifications
and
and
also, even just to get your driving test, you have to now drive eco-friendlyly to
Oh.
be able to get your license.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you have to.
And some people were telling me that that over there problems and stuff is because they're so strict of oil going in vehicles and oil change intervals. That's why they 15,000 miles where we're half of that and we're having problems, but they're double that and they're not having as many.
Also, when I was in the UK, I've never seen a car more than 10 years old.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. A lot of people over there, it's like, it's almost frowned upon to own an older car or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can't pass emissions, you can't pass this, people just get a new car.
They're strict, man. They're strict. What about culture-wise? Like, what do you think with everything that's going on?
Culture-wise,
Same?
pretty much. I feel like I'm hearing a lot more news of like doomsday.
Yeah.
But like from personal experience, like just me seeing things with my own eyes, like
You guys deal with the
things
same
are
problem?
bad, but
Yeah.
like, but also because it's so heavily populated that you
Yeah.
know, things are a little
Do you
bit
deal with
exaggerated.
like the same political correctness over there and stuff, where it's like one party against another and.
For us, we're not too bad because we got 3 different parties, like the main parties,
Yeah.
and then we got regular stuff. But for us, like you guys, you would say, hey, you know, I'm Republican or I'm Democrat. Like
Yeah.
you fly the flag. For us, it's a very like we have a saying like you and your spouse, you share a bank account, you share, you know,
Yeah.
all your stuff.
Right.
Political opinion, not shared. And you wouldn't let the other person know who you're actually voting for. That's how private that part is.
Over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even to your spouse.
Well, that
But
you know.
guys are so open with it. We find that fascinating. So every time you guys have an election, we hop on that because we're like, what the fuck is this fanfare? Like we're like, oh wow, this is like 2 sports teams.
Yeah. It's bad, man. It gets really
Yeah.
bad sometimes.
I don't like. I'm like, you know.
It shouldn't be that way.
Your political opinion is your political opinion. Like it's too broad.
So what do you
know?
think? What do you think about all the stuff that's going on with, like for instance, we have 10,500 people sitting at the border right now, ready to come in. It's now live. It's being live streamed on drones and everything else. And they're not recommended to get COVID vaccines and stuff like that. There's nothing set in place for them until they actually get in. But yet everybody here, they're almost pushing the fact that they're trying to mandate that if you work with the public, you are going to get the vaccine. But they're not making people that are coming into the United States get the vaccine. I mean, this is the part that a lot of people are held up on, is like, why are you showing fairness to outside people coming into the United States, but people in the United States, you're not showing the same fairness to them? Do you have an opinion or no?
Like most of the time, I try not to delve into that because it just like it's like a snake.
It could be never ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because do we really know the full truth? Like,
Yeah, we do.
We really don't.
We
Unless you know you're right there doing it.
right.
it-
Well, they
it's
were
really
live
hard.
streaming this morning, and they were like, since you guys think that this is, you know, fake and everything, we've got guys on the ground, and they put drones up, and then the FAA came in, and now they've given the FAA power to shut people down from flying drones over the border. So now they've weaponized the FAA. It's just so now they can say you cannot fly your drones no more to see what's going on. The
Sounds a little
FAA,
fishy to me.
huh?
Sounds a little fishy.
What? Right. Well, they don't want anybody to know what's exactly going on. And the last drone footage that was pulled, and with everything that's being done on the border, they're saying the count was last 10,500 people, and now the FAA has stepped in because they've been given power to stop people from flying drones to actually see what's going on.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I find very strange in the US is how much you guys have like the government versus the people.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, like
It's nice hearing your perspective
so
from.
much stuff is like public funded.
Yeah.
But the government actually don't have that much like over us. So it's a whole different perspective. But also your country's huge.
Right.
So it's a hard one.
Well, I thank you for at least talking to me. I appreciate it. I like hearing what other people have to say, regardless if we believe the same or not.
Like, yeah, you can have different opinions. Everyone has different opinions. Who's got a better car? Like, that's
Yeah.
such an open question.
Right.
It's the same difference for me. Like, there is no perfect answer to.
Damn, bro, got the truck back already.
Oh yeah, man, it works great. I'm ready to fire it up, so if you could stand over here for a second in case something happens or whatever, but the oil pan and everything's all sealed. I've got 2 quarts of kerosene diesel in it, a full quart of oil supplementation like the stabilizer, and then 2 quarts of this 5W30 SuperTech, the full synthetic, just to run it through for a while. And let's see what the kerosene diesel does. I don't know if this will be fine here or not.
I'll hold it.
They're
Go ahead.
pretty dirty.
Go ahead.
Fire in the hole.
All right.
that additive should eliminate a lot of that. Or maybe I should just go ahead and pull it out now, so that at least drop the mat where the oil is already at. Should have had it. Working in flip-flops, baby.
What is this like the last of us? There's enough weight.
Straight back. Let me know when you want me to stop. Back in.
I'm still screaming.
Oh, I know.
Huh?
Let me know when you want me to stop. Like when I'm outside.
Oh. I mean, you just need enough so that.
I can get the exhaust out the door.
Yeah. God damn. That's good, bro. That's fine.
The more I'm running it, the quieter and quieter this engine is getting. It's like the more... Luckily, I had something to go up. Yeah, these are expensive. You don't have a flashlight, right? I see a leak. There's a leak over here on this other side of the engine I'm looking for. I don't think they put the bolts back in the damn valve cover. What a bunch of rotten mother... They didn't put any of the bolts back in the driver's side valve cover. There's no bolts in it at all. I'm seeing this little drip right here underneath, and then I look at the valve cover. There's one of the bolts right there. Out. That one's out. Oh my God. What the hell, man? What in the hell is going on with people? When you're paid to do a job, do the freaking job. No wonder why the damn thing's misfiring. I bet you the connectors and stuff on this side aren't even plugged in all the way. Vacuum leak, everything else going on with it. Where in the hell? There's got to be more bolts or something in here. Why would they just keep the bolts for the oil pan and for the valve cover? What in the hell? And then people that do honest work are the ones that have to pick up the pieces. I don't see nothing in here that will even help me. The guy said, oh, they put a box of bolts inside. I'd like to know where they put the box of bolts inside. He didn't notify me until all this. Where's the box of bolts at? No, this is freaking ridiculous, man. I wonder if I'm sometimes biting off more than I can chew with some of the shit I get myself into. I can hook a scanner up. I have my scanner. I mean, all I can do for now is leave it. Let me put this back on the tripod for a second so I can get situated and get some kind of pig mat underneath that. Now I'm going to have to find valve cover bolts for it. No, it's not an NV 2500, it's a 3500. It's an NV 3500 with 5,000 miles on it. Yeah, it's because none of the bolts are in that valve cover. That's probably why there's a vacuum leak and the engine's shaking. I'm gonna go out there and get my scanner real quick so we can put a scanner on it. Got a couple bolts. Nebo. Right. Alright, the oil leak had stopped for now. Oh my god, what a pain in the freaking ass. I got a couple bolts in it, but I didn't get them all in there, and it did stop the oil leak. I'm gonna go out there and grab my scanner so we can pull it up and see the check engine light. Let's go inside here now and see what these codes are. What the fuck is this thing here? Oh, it's Nissan. They gotta be different than everybody else. We put the damn thing upside down sideways. Hey, what's going on? Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. P0306, cylinder 6 misfire detected. P0300, intake valve control solenoid circuit bank 2. Cylinder 6, random cylinder, intake valve control circuit number 2. So cylinder 6. So I bet you they forgot to plug some stuff in. I bet you that's exactly what it is. Or it's got a bad plug or something like that. Let's see if we can get into some data log stuff. Data stream. View all items.
We're gonna have to look at cylinder 6. Yeah, you like that, don't you, A-Rod? Let's see if we can look. Did you guys see engine oil pressure? I didn't see EOT on here. How to know you're going to be a bad job. Motor flush, radiator sealant, and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even understand that, wild man. Can you clarify? You're going to be doing a bad job, or you're doing a bad job? Because of the way you said it, you basically said I was a hack. That's basically what you just said. And then you called something radiator sealant. I don't know where you're getting radiator sealant. We don't have radiator sealant. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'd like to know where the radiator sealant is. I don't see. Alright, so let me back out of here and go to it's like a Sprinter van. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is give it a little bit more juice. Alright, let's go look at that number 6 real quick, and then we'll start it back up and run it some more. What is on the Nissan? Cylinder 6 would be... I don't know what the Nissans very well. Hey, cylinder 6 on this motor is... I don't work on Nissans. This is my... It says cylinder 6 has a misfire, and to check the intake runner valve actuator or whatever. So it's one of those actuator motors or something like that, I think. But cylinder 6 on this, do you know where it is?
Cylinder 6. So
What?
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be back right one.
Back right.
Yeah.
So this is an 8. So it's one before the back, right? This is an 8 cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
you still count from left to right. Left is, yeah. So
Okay.
22, yeah.
So look here.
Yeah. Should be on the right side.
I think while we're done, so number 6 is on the passenger side on this engine. Yeah, we'll get all that cleaned out. Okay, I got it, guys. Just chill for a little bit on that stuff. I'll get it all cleaned up and this thing detailed. But remember, this is a buddy dropped this
It's
off.
on the left side.
Yeah.
We have it on because it's a V6.
Oh, it's chewed.
Was it really?
Yeah, the harness is chewed. It looks like fucking rat's teeth right through the harness. Yeah, you can see the little gold wires hanging out where it looked like a rat chewed on it.
Shit.
Well, some of it shouldn't be bad. I mean, he gave me a couple bolts that are the same as the Z's. It's the M6 by 1.0.
Yeah.
They're a little short, but they were still able to grab enough and suck the valve cover in so the leak stopped. It seems to be running really good. Like the more it's running that cleaner and stuff through there, it's smoothing out a lot. And I didn't see any metal in the sludge at all. So when I was sifting through it and looking and trying to feel and look where, you know, like my light on my phone, I didn't see any metal. It was just all sludge. So I'm thinking the motor may be able to be saved because the more it's
I
running,
mean, it sounds great.
yeah, the more it's running, the cleaner and smoother it's getting.
Yeah.
So I think they just didn't. Anytime you have a motor that's sludged that bad, it's a liability. So what do? Charge the customer $400 or $500 to clean the engine out because it's going to take a lot of your time and a lot of chemicals, a lot of filters, and then give it back to them clean, and then 6 months later, something happens because there was particles in there somewhere that just got dislodged later on, and you tell them that, hey, look, this is always a liability. You could get a week out of it, or you could get 6 years out of it. What do you want to do? You give the option, but I guess Nissan just told him straight, we don't want the liability. If we're going to do it, we need to put a motor in it. We don't even want to try to clean it. Which I understand, because it does become a liability.
Yeah.
If you give people, if you don't give them the option, you say we need to put a motor in it, that's it, they're always free to go to somebody else. You can always do that, and I think that's the exercise, that strong hand, instead of actually saying, well, let's attempt to clean it. The guy was more than willing to put the money into it. He's been paying on this for over a year without even being able to drive it.
Fucking sucks.
Wish I could take you guys in there, but there is a spot right there. It looks like it was chewed. Wait a second, I'm in the wrong one. Well, we're gonna have to do a coil or a plug on that because I thought it was chewed, but it's not chewed. It's actually fine. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and drop this motor oil now with this cleaner and stuff that's in there, and then run that marble mystery oil through there. Let's go under here and drop this. Yeah.
Still streaming?
Yeah.
I don't know how you, well, how's your copyright with music?
Not good.
Okay. Yeah, but YouTube's pretty bad.
I'm gonna drop this can right now,
Okay?
and then I'll put some fresh stuff in there, and I'll be done streaming. I just wanted them to see the first flush, and then you can throw your music.
Wait, is this a boat that I was talking about? Hey,
What?
just measure the distance between this so I can get the shift book done.
That's not the booth.
Oh, that's not the book? Yeah, I just need to know the Yep. These are mine.
No, he stole it.
They're mine.
Man, he stole something against you.
No, I bought it.
No, he stole it. Do you believe in me?
That's why it doesn't look like we run down.
It's like brand new gas station. He stole
No,
it.
because I gotta wash my car, and then when I wash it, I gotta like yes. And I don't think she likes the clutch either. Just too lazy. Last days of bit late for a picnic. What kind?
I just say you're doing a good job. I can't just say you're doing a good job. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it positive. You see no pressure. I just say you're doing a good job. Oh, for every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I don't even manage my own house.
He said, how do you manage so,
Who the fuck is this?
like I said, so,
Those small screws are what the distance like. You have pen and pencil? And, tape?
we don't, we don't jack
But shit is gonna be hot. Oh yeah.
finally my workstation all set up, and then people need my help.
Let's go outside.
I might sort of leave this out. Might as well do it with one road. Actually, no, we could, because they come back in stock Fridays, and then we'll go. So nice.
It's around.
But it has what I want. Because I need wireless mirror. That's my main thing.
Yeah. We only have a regular.
Like a dainty little flower.
Exactly.
No, because you know I like my technology, okay?
You're very good.
Hot. Ah, da 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 da.
Here you go, master. What? Sure, what? What do you mean? Yes, master.
This is why they do this.
Come on.
Yeah, I got it. I just want to bring it today. It didn't remind me. Oh,
That was just a sample.
oh. I mean, I got this, so I can just match it up. And look at this. It's the same. Wait, your car should be the same as this. Yeah, I just need to know the distance between these two bolts and these two bolts. And then I can cut the whole thing. I want to cut it too shallow and you guys. This is only 50. So I don't have.
Wait, what? I think she just wants to.
The oil's so much cleaner coming out of the filter, the oil filter adapter. It's so much freaking cleaner coming out of that thing. Like, it cleaned out all the holes where the oil filter was, where you could see all the sludge build up back behind it. It's all clean and nice and shiny now.
What the fuck?
She had 3 houses. That was like 10 factories.
God, bro.
Everything all right? We just trying to say about the lease. That I don't have a bank account like that? It's okay. It's not about money. It's about love, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
Look at all those ends girls, okay?
Yeah, but they're like, are they baldwin?
Today's been a rough day. I got oil all in my damn eye. Motherfucker nutted it right in my eye. As soon as I came out, it says, pearl necklace complete.
I'm gonna hold it for you. Give me a
I
second.
got it. The other side's already unlocked. Now,
It was a joke.
I wish this was still there.
I am.
I'm just trying to be me, man. I gotta stay busy because if I don't stay busy, then I ain't doing what I should be doing. You know what they say? Idle hands are the devil's playground. Y'all ready for this?
It's probably still stuck in like it started. Okay. What else? So we're gonna go this type of thing. We normally focus on everything inside of it.
You know what? That might be causing some of my noises.
I think it's just fine.
And then, we can actually set up the frame.
Hey, I can see that.
That's the interesting thing to do. I found the name. I think it's actually.
I didn't tell you, so you can keep this much right here.
Yeah, you gotta top it off with motor oil. We need about a half a quart still. It's right here at the little dot. If it'll focus, man, I ain't got time for it.
That's not creepy at all.
I'd be like, I'm very expert on Instagram. Dude, that's just cute.
Oh, right there. No, it's pretty good. It's like supposed to look on Instagram. Oh, yeah. So he's doing some pictures with the girls that he's talking to. I think post some on Instagram. If you check his Instagram, you can sure
A little bit more.
I know what they're trying to set it up about that. Like you go, yeah, and then you.
So you get a photo with that?
No, I'm just trying to make it better.
Okay, yeah.
The other ones, the other ones. Yeah. Hilarious. Where's one back? Yeah, where's?
You get the wrong one and don't pay a Puerto Rico.
Nice.
Yes?
Yeah.
How you still alive?
It's right here.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. You almost-
The ad is here, full is here, and it's like right in here.
It doesn't matter, bro. When you say you should not put somebody should have told.
For me,
Good enough. Good enough to get us rolling.
those are pretty much similar like that. So, for me, I'm prepared. Did I say this actually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like from China here, only was here 1 year.
How crazy was that?
She was a fucking whack job.
Okay, sounds about right.
I dated her. Her name was Ayala or something like that, Lao, and my buddy from Chinatown introduced me to her, and he's only been here for about 9 years, and we went through diesel school together, and he introduced me to her, and it was like every time I looked at something that wasn't her, she was yelling at me, and if I wouldn't like say good morning sweet to her in the morning and all this other stuff, she was this Asian girl was absolutely.
This guy knows what he's all about.
I mean, faithful, very, very faithful, very clean, all dinner scheduled. You need to be home and clean at this time and stuff. Very, very regimented,
Yeah, fucking nuts.
but absolutely insane.
Yeah. Sounds about right. I don't know about yours, but high maintenance.
Mine wasn't really high maintenance. She wanted to go out a lot to a lot of expensive dinners, but she was absolutely nutty. Like you could not look at anything or anybody, and she almost had to give you approval first. Like, okay, like nah, it's okay to look at this or that, or
Yeah.
always
Girls
accuse me.
don't even think about it. Looking at it, and nah. You watch a TV show, you better be like, oh no, girls, no.
Yeah, you have to almost pretend like you're not interested in seeing something provocative or whatever. We're men. We like seeing that stuff. I don't care how Christian you are or whatever. It's built into us, right?
Right.
But if you would look at something the wrong way, if it was a show or something on TV, no matter what, she was offended by it.
So yeah, so she wanted to go shopping at one of this.
All right, I'm gonna fire it up now with the ATF in it. New filter on, old filter out.
And she was like, "Oh, I don't have enough money in my bank account." I said, "It's okay. I'll buy you whatever." And she was like, "It's fine." She messaged her mom and she sent her 10 grand. So about $15,000 at the time. Just like that. Just like she would just wire.
They're like, nah, man.
Quick pay, 15 grand.
Motor sounds very good now. Very good. It's the start that's because that cylinder 6 is misfiring, so I'm gonna need an ignition coil or I'm gonna need a spark plug for it. I'm hoping the compression's not messed up. All right, let me know when to stop. Somebody tell me, scream through the phone so I can hear you. Hey, stop. The tailpipe is outside. We'll cut the filters open. I'll save the filters, but we're not going to cut the filters open today. I'm already taxing myself enough having to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I didn't come dressed for this at all. I wasn't really feeling like I was going to quite get into this today. I was going to come out here, seal up the oil pan, clean the oil pan, and then I was going to walk and then just do this like on Monday or something when I wanted to enjoy today and tomorrow. But then I was like, you know what? The guys are at the shop anyway. I want to come out here. Why not just hang out, get dirty, get as much of this done as I can, have you guys here, just roll, baby. You know, rawness, nothing to hide. A lot of these guys I see on here lately, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just keep my mouth shut. I've been trying to be positive more than anything. Lately, I've been focusing on not responding to idiots, just getting rid of them. So if you noticed over the last couple days, I don't even say anything anymore. I just get rid of them, or I'll say something, you know, like, okay, thanks for your opinion. I get it. You don't like Ford, but if you need any help, just let me know. And then all of a sudden, it shuts them down, and then they don't even want to be mean to me anymore. They're just kind of like, okay, well, if this dude's not going to bite on my negativity, then maybe I should just be positive. And it really works. It's been working lately. I've said some, you know, kind of clapback things to people, but nothing excessive. And I'm learning not to do it. I'm learning that you can't really do that because it's not going to get you anywhere. So, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm one of those people that just says it like it is. And if you don't like it, it's too bad. You know, I had somebody threaten me the other day and say, how does your employer feel about how you talk to people online? I don't give a shit how my employer feels about how I talk to people online. My personal life has nothing to do with work. And if my employer can't at least recognize the separation between what I say and do in my personal life versus what I do when I'm at work, that's a different story. So that's not my problem. Once people realize that you really don't care, they just kind of leave you alone. Yeah, and that's another thing too, is people need to realize that a lot of us are vets on here. You know, we're not just going to eat somebody's shit just because they want us to. And a lot of these people that have negative things to say, like, what was it? What did some girl say? She said something. She was texting me in all capital letters or something like that. Let's go over here. Let this run. She was texting me on here in all capital letters, and I was like, "Fucking, are you yelling at me or what are you doing?" Because like, if you're yelling at me, you better be laying down next to me, giving me that ass or something, because that's the only person that deserves to yell at me, not just anybody. I mean, you better be putting something out for me to get yelled at. And it was um, it was about oil. I think you'll see her on the channel sometime or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it was. What was it? Tammy? Something Tammy? I think she's still on the channel. Something Tammy. But you can see in all capital letters. And I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is this and thinks that they can get away with yelling at me? You do know oils over the last decade has changed and they've gotten so much better and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, so you just ran across one video, one single video, and you're already critiquing me based on one single video. And I have a channel full of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos where I talk about oil and analysis and everything else. And you're going to comment on one video like you actually understand where I come from and what I believe. I just don't get it from people. Some people are crazy, man. Some people think that they can just watch one video and they've already got you figured out, and they're going to go ahead and womansplain or mansplain everything to you. Everything's going to get covered in one. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Seriously. Go take care of yourself or something. You ain't got to be that hostile about everything. Damn. Ask some questions. Figure out what a person's about first before you start trying to judge them and run your mouth. But I'm getting better. I'm definitely getting a lot better. Mikey helped me out a lot. I don't know if you guys know Mikey, but Mikey's kind of a behind the scenes social media guy. Me and him sat down one night and we talked, and he said, yeah, I know you mean well and you want to defend yourself and you want to defend your community and stuff like that and people, but it ain't even worth it, man. He said, you know how many big YouTube channels I work with, and I kind of straighten things out and get everything in line for them and stuff, and just help overall be an advocate for their channel. It ain't worth even trying to defend yourself. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. If they're not, they're not. And no matter what you say or do, you're not gonna change who they are. They're gonna just find somebody else to do it too. So why not embrace it and let them do it on your channel, because it does nothing but help you out. If they're commenting and they're starting crap on your channel and they're thumbing down the video, that is a boost to your algorithm. So why not just let it go? And I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to have to listen to somebody eventually. I just don't know when that's going to be. I'm probably going to have to take some of this advice eventually. I just don't know exactly when I'm going to full-fledged be able to wake up one morning and say, aha, I'm ready to listen, because I'm not that type of person. You know, I've been on my own since I've been 17 years old. It's kind of been one of those things where, you know, you pick and choose who you listen to. I'd love to meet some of these people that are actually angry and stuff online, just to see what they look like in person when they're shaking my hand and saying thank you for doing everything you do, versus online saying all kinds of nasty stuff to me. I would just like to meet one person, one troll on the internet that thinks he's really badass. I'd just like to meet just one of them. That's my dream. I think my dream right now is to video one troll meetup. It's all caps and I'm putting out. Oh shit. Come on, baby. I'm in like Flint. I'm looking for the win, baby. You ain't, hey, I'll try anything once, they say. What'd you say, $1 million? I'm in. Oh, I'm on TikTok though. Yeah. I'm on TikTok, and it's bad on TikTok, man. The first video I put out, this dude left like a dozen messages on one video. The first video I put out, and I was like, something to never do to your mechanic. If you take your vehicle to your mechanic and you've already got the problem figured out, and you've already taken it to multiple people, it's kind of a slap in the face when you take it to him and you tell him what's wrong with it, and you tell him what your dad said or your uncle said or your sister said. And it's not cool to do that at all. I mean, obviously they haven't been able to figure it out, and if they did know what was the problem, why didn't they just fix it? And some dude from the city got all butthurt about it, and he just completely, hey, was it Kanukistan? Hey, from Kanukistan. Dude just went off, man. Oh my God, you're the mechanic. That's the problem with the world and all this other stuff. And I would never take my vehicle to a mechanic like you for saying things like that. Why? Because you've had it to every person in town and nobody's fixed it. And now you bring it to me to get it fixed, and I'm gonna fix it. But I don't need your lip, and I don't need what Joe Schmo and everybody else said. Let me fix it. I'll fix it for you. I got you. But I don't need to hear what everybody else had to say about it and what you think it is and everything else. Just give it to me. Tell me what your concern is. Explain the situation and let me go. I got you. If I got further questions, I'll ask. Well, some dude who's so bent out of shape over that, man, he just bent out of shape. Oh God. He did not like anything I had to say. Hey baby, want to see my brisket? Can you say it like that? Oh, I thought you said brisket. She's a breaker bar. They said brisket. Let me see that breaker bar, daddy. Let me see that breaker bar, baby. I'll tell y'all the story real quick. It's a trucker story. My uncle, favorite sports team. I like the Mavericks. I've always liked the Mavericks since Dirk Nowitzki. And I like the Cubs. I do like the Cubs. I'm sorry, I'm a Cubs fanboy, I will admit. Even though they suck and lose all the time. The last game I was at, they won by 1, so that was good. That was the second Cubs game I ever went to, and they won right in I think it was the end of the 10th or something like that. I love that. Football, I like the Bears. I do like the hometown teams for that. I don't care for the Bulls too much anymore. I was a Rodman and Jordan and Pippen fan, and after that era, I just didn't really care for the Bulls anymore. I know, I got you, Ryan. I was talking about you earlier, saying that I got more people that got to get in here, but I've got these like little nightmares I got to take care of before I can get anybody else even in here. And it has to be a weekend like today. Then I tell y'all a funny story real quick. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Some of you truck drivers will like it. My uncle he'd be on the road driving, and he would be, he'd get tired. And he said, son, he's from Arkansas, so he'll say, everybody's son to him. He said, son, I was on the road. I started to get tired. It wasn't time for me to pull over yet. And he said, I had to wake up. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to wake up. And I didn't want any more, coffee or anything. So he said, I feel like I get my blood boiling a little bit. So he says, I jump on the radio. All these truckers out there driving and talking and stuff like that. And he said, I got on the radio and I said, y'all shut up. Y'all talking too much. And he said, but one thing I'm interested in is I'm coming up to mile marker 167, and I ain't never had my ass whooped at mile marker 167. So if there's any of you young bucks out there that feel like you got enough energy to whoop this old man's ass, I'm pulling over at mile marker 167, and I'll be waiting for that ass whooping if you can. Oh my God. And people come across the horn yelling and screaming, pull over, you old mother, I'll do you right now, and everything else. And he said, woo, you get them all wound up, man, just all wound up, yelling and screaming at each other and stuff. And he said, you get your blood boiling and stuff. It'll wake you up real quick when you're in the middle of the conversation. You're like, oh yeah, I'm waiting right now. Where you at? Where you at? And then some old boy starts to pull over. Where you at? I don't see you back here. He said, man, you think I'm gonna pull over? You son of a this and that and everything else. And he said, man, I do this stuff on the road all the time to stay awake.
unnecessary drama, just to stay awake and get the load where it needed to go, just to wake up. And I said, what? I mean, you do all kind of crazy stuff on the road. And he said, oh yeah. He said, I remember one time I pulled into a Flying J parking lot. And he said, I backed all the way up in the parking lot, as far away from the building as you could be. And I eased the truck on in there, and I'm looking in the parking lot. I see this pretty looking white Pearl Peterbilt a couple rows ahead of me, closer to the Flying J. And he said, one of them lot lizards came across the radio. Looking for some company. I'm headed to New York or something like that. Anybody going that way that needs some company? And he says, again, kind of tired. I only pulled in there for some food and stuff like that. And he says, it was a gay guy. And he said, I went in and got my food and stuff like that. I come out and I heard that come across the radio. And I'm sitting there in the truck, sipping on my coffee and about to eat my sandwich. And he said, I just had something come across where I had to pick up the radio. And he says, yeah, I'm in this white Pearl looking Peterbilt about 3 rows back from the entrance of the Flying J. And I got this pink lady on the side of it. It's a beautiful truck. I'd love to have some company. And he said, I'm sitting back there in my truck and I'm eating my sandwich and drinking my coffee and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, he said, I see this young man come by, and he's walking by, and he must be in his late 20s, African-American guy, gay guy, lot lizard they call him. And he says, next thing I know, he's banging on the door and beating on the door and stuff. Nobody answered the door. And he says, old boy grabbed the door and opened it up and went to climb in there. And he said the truck got to rocking and everything else. And that boy knocked him, punched him right in the head, knocked him out of the truck and everything else. And he said, I got it eased on out of the parking lot and took off down the road. I said, damn, well, you're a problem maker. And he said, you got to stay awake on the road, man. You got to do what you got to do. Oh, the stories of truck drivers, man. The stories of truck drivers. I plugged his phone in. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm gonna drop this oil one more time, and then I don't know if I can put this over on the phone's dying. I figured I'd talk to y'all for a little bit before we jumped off of here. Phone's always dying. And he told me, he said he messed with his coworkers too. He said, I remember pulling into a rest area, and he said I pulled into the rest area, and you know how you got the spots that go like on an angle, nose to nose or nose to trailer or whatever. And he says the way the guy pulled in, he pulled in to where his nose was facing the entrance coming in. He came in the wrong way. So he said I'd figure I'd mess with him a little bit because he worked for the same company that I worked for. So he said he eased on in the parking spot, and he came to a nice stop, turned his brights on, everything, turned all the lights on the truck on, were shining right in the window of this thing. And he said a guy, his other fellow driver, worked for the same company, he's sitting there at the wheel taking a quick nap, had his head down with his hands on the steering wheel. He fell asleep like that in the rest area. And he said, boy, I reached up there and grabbed that damn horn, and I whoop, and that man woke up. And when he woke up, he thought he was on the road and fell asleep, and those lights and everything right in his face. You should see him push his hands away from the steering wheel and stomp on that thing. And then he get out of there, you asshole, and he starts screaming at him and everything else. Why you gotta do that? He said woke him up dead out of his sleep, man. Thought he woke up and he was in an accident. Just to stay awake on the road, man. Just to stay awake on the road. Yeah, my uncle's a clown though. He looked like me too. He's beautiful like me. He's got beard and he got more hair than me though. He's a little shorter than me, but he looked like he's my daddy. I wonder if my mama and her brother had me. I'm some kind of like offspring of some kind of family thing that I ain't never found out about because I look identical to him. I don't know. tell you what though, from all that stuff that we ran through there so far, that kerosene and that diesel and that additive, that thing ain't smoking at all no more. They quit smoking completely. So that's good. Last night I seen some crazy stuff though. On the way home, my heart dropped as I was passing by. The police officer was pulling up. No, more than $4,000. I mean, it was $4,700 for a used motor with 25,000 miles, and then he would have had to pay. I recently bought a 2016 1.4 liter Chevy Spark, and the canister vent solenoid fuse keeps popping with it's a 10 amp. Any idea what could be causing it? Well, you either have a short somewhere in the circuit, or yeah, the wind is blowing by right now. There's nothing I can do about it. I could maybe turn the phone a little bit and see if it'll pick up on a different angle. No, if you just had a bad ground, a bad ground wouldn't cause the fuse to pop. You would just not have the vent solenoid wouldn't work, and you just wouldn't have ground. Either something shorted or the solenoid itself is bad, but it sounds like you got something shorted. The only reason a fuse would pop is if it's pulling too much current, or if you have a short to ground, or wires are shorted. I don't know if that's ground controlled or power controlled on that. I don't know Chevys like that. That's the only reason I could think is some kind of high resistance or short to ground. Have you tried replacing the vent solenoid? I know that's not the answer most of the time, especially with a ground, but have you tried it? Maybe it's internally biased or something? Yeah, you take the EPR and you dump it in the oil that's already in the vehicle, and then you run it for about 10-15 minutes at about 1,500 to 2,000 RPM. Get it moving through there, get it working, and then you drop the oil and everything. Low resistance, not high resistance. Well, not low. Well, low resistance would be a short. High resistance would mean you would have. Yeah, so you're right. Actually, you're right. I said that backwards. Low resistance would mean there is no resistance, and it would be shorted. Say low resistance short. So yeah, you're right. I guess I'm still thinking about this truck and doing what I'm doing now. Llama, thank you. But if the unit itself is shorted internally, that could cause it too. I'd be looking at wires. That's what I'd do. Is I'd look at wires. I'd look to see if there's some kind of pinched wire or something somewhere. If that's what's caught, if that's the only thing that's wrong with the vehicle. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard if it's just a vent solenoid. We've got dedicated power and ground on off, unless there's some kind of reference circuit. But I wouldn't think a vent solenoid would be either on or off. So it should be pretty easy to trace down. I started driving a truck when I was, let's see. I drove my first truck when I was 19 years old, an old Mac, working for a farm drainage and excavating company. And then when I got out, I got a local farmer's license, what they call a permit in Arkansas, and you can drive 150-mile radius outside of where the license is registered, whatever farming permit. So I would pull fertilizer trailers, and not only was I a diesel mechanic, I'd also pull whenever we were slow and we needed fertilizer out for the farmers in Arkansas. I'd have to. They got them swing loaders and stuff, so you have your dedicated, basically storage units, and you'd come in with a swing loader, and you say your local farmer needs 40,000 pounds or 50,000 pounds of urea with Agritane. because he's trying to fertilize his rice or something like that, you would get a printout from the main office, and it would say do 40,000 pounds of urea, and each one of them gets 2.5 gallons. Each 10,000 pounds will get a 2.5 gallon jug or a 5 gallon jug of agrotane, and then you pull in each chute with your loader, and you pull buckets and you drop it into your hopper, your mixer. You pull in, you drive down, you dump it. You pull back in, you drive down, you dump it, and you watch the scale. And you say you get 5,000 pounds or 10,000 pounds in that unit, and you'll take your last bucket load before you actually unload that stuff into the truck. You'll have a truck sitting out at the end of the chute, and it'll be under the discharge line. And you'll take your last swinger bucket, and you'll take one of them 2.5 gallon jugs, and you'll pour it all over inside that urea in the end of it. And then you'll drop it in the mixer, and it'll mix with all that stuff that's in there. The big auger inside it churns it all and brings it all together. And you'll mix that agrotane in with all that urea that's inside there. And then when you're done mixing, you'll discharge it into the front hopper of the truck, and then you'll run out to the truck and pull forward to the next hopper, and then you'll mix up your next batch and your next batch and your next batch. So that's how I learned how to drive a truck, was at the co-op. We'd take 40, 50, 60,000 pounds of fertilizer, depending on what size trailer we had, out to the farmers, and then we'd pull up on their land, and we'd discharge into their spreader rigs, or we'd discharge into a airplane loader. We'd put about 10,000 pounds in him, and then he would load into a plane, and then he'd back up to the truck, and then we'd fill him up again, and then he'd load it into a plane, and then you could watch the planes take off and spread that fertilizer all over the fields, and then they'd circle back and come back and land, and then the truck would be full and load him up again and take off again, and they just do it over and over and over again. And I might have to run back and grab another truck and take it out to the farmer too, or maybe by the time I get back out there, they'll have a truck or something to work on that they need fixed real quick, or some kind of service that needs to be done. Man, they got that transmission out already in that 370Z. Or is that 350Z? Yeah, they already got the trans out in it. They're saying that something's wrong with the reverse, so they just went ahead and pulled the trans. What was that, an hour and a half? The trans out of it. But these boys do it so much here. These JDM guys, they do clutches, transmissions, performance exhaust work. They already got it out of there. Looking at it. So I'm gonna go in here and drop this oil and stuff in this Nissan, and then what do I want to do? Do I want to run an MMO through it tonight and do one more filter? You guys, I don't know if I got enough battery to show you guys what it looks like. 6%, so we'll have to get off of here when I walk away. I'll just keep you updated on everything that's going on. And then when we run the BG through it, I'll bring you back out here and we'll run the BG through it, and we'll put the rest of the bolts in it. And I'll get a ignition coil and a spark plug to put in that number 6 while we're here, and we'll run the full $300 BG kit through it. Maybe we won't need the BG kit. I don't know. We probably will need it, because I'll take my bore scope on Monday. I'll go to the shop and I'll grab my bore scope, and I'll run the bore scope through the oil pan and look at the pickup tube. If the pickup tube and stuff is all plugged, then we'll have to pull the pan back down, clean all that back out again, which I don't think it's going to be plugged. I think it's whatever, that diesel and that kerosene and stuff is melting that stuff pretty good, but we'll find out. It just needs to be run. This vehicle just needs to be run. It seems like it could probably be saved. There's a lot of junk in that motor that I want to run, 2 or 3 flushers through it. We ran the diesel and kerosene through it to try to break a lot of that stuff down, which it was all cloudy and milky when it came out, because it was breaking all that stuff down. And then ATF should really get in there and clean some stuff out. And then I'll run that MMO through it too, but I'll run the MMO through it with like a full regular oil change. Probably try to drive it around, get some of that stuff moving in there, and then finish it with a BG flush. BG flush is going to melt the stuff. That's why
That's why I didn't start with the BG flush right now, because that BG flush is too potent. You wash all that junk and nasty stuff. I thought I left you the address the last time you said something like that. And I thought I left you that. I already sent it to you, but I'll do it again. Um, I know I sent it. I just don't know why you didn't get it. I mean, I could do it real quick, but the phone is dying. Let me see where I'm at right now. It's at 6% right now. It's going to take forever to charge while I'm live. So every little bit that it has to do while I'm live, it's just going to take that much longer. If I take it off the charger right now, once it hit 5%, the phone goes dark. I mean, I could go right now and unplug it and let you guys know if I hear a change. I mean, that's the best I can probably do right now. Let me go do it real quick. There was no change at all. You unplugged it, it didn't do anything. It just stayed the same. It didn't even hesitate, didn't even try to do anything. It just stayed exactly the same. Yeah, it's a nice shop. We all share it very well, though. You know, we all pay our share and take care of it. And I'm glad that I'm in here now. I'm glad that I'm able to get rolling on this stuff. You know, they're redoing the ground right now, so it's kind of hard for me to get in here like I want to. It's still at 6%. Maybe tomorrow, if I feel good, I'll run back out here and we'll do something else to it. I don't want to spend all day here. I want to give him the good news that, hey, you know, check engine lights on, just because it looks like cylinder 6 misfire, so it won't be that big a deal. No, I'm not going to leave the dealer. The dealer, you know, most of the reason that people are here is because of the dealer. You know, they like being able to keep up on all the new TSBs and the help on all the new cars. You know, I can still help people on the used cars and stuff like that, but if I leave the dealer, you know, you lose out on your certifications, you lose out on all the new vehicle training, the guaranteed overhead and stuff like that, the medical insurance, you lose out on all that stuff. So I'm not looking to leave the dealer. I'm looking to have my own place here so I can do some of my own stuff, you know, not considered moonlighting away. 2 of your certs expired? I have like 6 certifications expired right now because there's like 3 or 4 new modules per section, and I think like 10 of my certifications or something like that, 8 of my certifications, I don't know what it is. So 2/3 of my certifications are good, but there's like 1/3 of them that have expired because it's like sitting down and training, and my boss recently said, you know what, just so you guys know, from now on when you guys do online training, clock in, because I'm going to pay you for all of the online training that you do. Oh no, I have more than that though. I have, well, some of them, they're expired, but when I left international, I had
125 certifications through international. I had 6 individual company and like a 609 AC certification. I don't know how many individual certifications through Ford, the on-car lathe stuff, and all the certifications to use the machines, forklift certifications that expire. I think it expired last year. I think in total, between all of the companies that I've worked for, at one time I had 440 some certifications, because you just go to a 6-month program for international and you leave with 125 or 120 certifications right there. And then even with Ford, you go to their class for, what is it, 6 to 9 months or something like that, and you leave with a ton of certifications through them. So if you want to look at individual class certifications, that's fine, but they actually give you individual certifications per module that you complete. And then you have to go do the hands-on stuff as well. So it's different. Each manufacturer looks at things different. But individual, like paper certifications that I have to show for, man, I had like 400 and some of those total. Yeah, I went to the Ford Accelerated Credential Training Program, and when I left after going through their program, I had more certifications leaving them than most of the technicians in the field had, just because they don't have that kind of time to sit down and go through class and train and do all the hands-on stuff like you are as a young man going through school, getting certified. They just don't have the time to do that. And then once I left that, the dealer down south, they just kept sending me every other or every month. I was going for a week to a new class. Yeah, I mean, there's only a few things that I have to do. It says my time got interrupted with Ford from leaving one dealer to another dealer. So my time tracking, they say that they're fixing or something like that. But I'm already, with just like 1 or 2 classes or something like that, I will already have the senior master certifications, just because I already have everything. But at the same time, I got scared because they were saying that if you do too many certifications too fast, then you don't have anything to keep your certifications up. Once you become senior master, you can lose it, because you have to show so much growth each year as a senior master. Because if you don't show that you've done some kind of training or some kind of growth every year, then you can lose it, or something to that extent. I don't know exactly what it is. You have to show continuing growth. Yeah, it takes longer that way when you don't go through the FACT class, because you have to wait on the dealer. The dealer's got to come over the vehicle. They got to give you a certain amount of money, and I went through all that. And then I remember my dealer would give me grief because he's like, okay, I'm giving you $500 to go eat off of, at this class and just have a good time. And then I'd come back and I spent let's just say I spent $175 in 5 days of training and eating and stuff like that down in New Orleans. Like, whoa, how come you spent $175? Why were you eating at Texas Roadhouse or whatever? Why couldn't you just go eat at a local diner? Like, are you seriously going to be that cheap? You sent me with $500 and you're questioning why I went to a Texas Roadhouse? I brought you over half of your money back. That's the kind of dealer I was working for back in the day. He was a cheap son of a gun, man. He was a cheap son of a gun. Give you the money and then complain about you using the money, and you're not even using all the money. Other techs would go and say, F you, dude, I'm using every bit of it. And I would go eat cheap at Texas Roadhouse. I'd have like a burger or something. I wouldn't even have like full-blown $30, $40 steaks or anything. I'd just have regular meals. Just because I didn't want to use all his money, because I knew the kind of stuff he would do. What time is it? Oh, it's 6:14. Okay. Let's tie this up here. 6:14. I've been here since what? How long have we been on? We've been on for 3 hours. So I've been here for about 4 hours. I need to get back to the family tonight. So, yeah. Especially, yeah, douchebags. I just don't get it. I don't get how you tell somebody this is the money I'm giving you to go eat off of, and then complain about somebody using the money for, and not even all of the money. Anyhow, let's jump off of here. Let me finish up what I'm doing in here, and I'll get tied up. What we'll do is I'll go ahead and drain this right out, put another new filter on it, and then I'll put probably 2 quarts of Marble Mystery Oil in it, maybe 3. I'll run 3 quarts of Marble Mystery Oil through it, and then I'll put that engine, that thick honey restoration stuff in there, and I'll top it off with regular motor oil, and I'll run it for a while, and I'll pull it back in and I'll let it sit, and when we come back we'll drain it. Or maybe I should just leave the plug out of it and just let it drain. I don't know. Alright guys, I appreciate y'all. Be blessed. Thanks for hanging out with me for the last 3 hours, and y'all are awesome. I'm going to go back to work for a little bit, and I'll update you. I got you, Nacho. I see you. Ryan, and we'll get together soon, man. I got to get this project tied up. See y'all.